requesting all the members to give a very huge round of applause to our His Excellency SHRI R.N.RAVI, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, for the 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association. Sir, we are deeply honored by your gracious presence of His Excellency. May I now request all to give a huge round of applause to the Honorable Governor for the 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association. I request the dignitaries to please come and occupy the dais. Ramesh sir. Yeah, thank you. May I now request all to stand for the national anthem, followed by the Tamil Thai Valthu.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तब जय गाता जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தளித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிளமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Thank you. May I now request our Honorable Governor and the dignitaries on the dais to light the auspicious lighting the lamp, the Kuttu Vilakku, symbolizing wisdom, knowledge, and the eternal flame of learning. Sir, please. Thank you, sir. I now invite Dr. Preeta Ganesh, Vice President, Wales Group of Institution, to deliver the welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Thiru R.N.RAVI, esteemed President of the Indian Economic Association, Dr. A.D.N. Bajpai, respected Conference President and Pro-Chancellor of VISTAS, Dr. A. Jyoti Murugan, respected Founder Chancellor of VISTAS and Chief Patron of the Conference, Dr. SHRI K. Ganesh, beloved Founder Chancellor of VIT and Patron of IEA, Dr. G. Vishwanathan, distinguished office bearers of the Indian Economic Association, eminent economists, academicians, policymakers, scholars, friends from the press and media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is indeed a matter of great pride and honor for me to extend a very warm and cordial welcome to all of you at this valedictory event of the 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association. At the outset, I wish to express a profound respect and heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, who has graciously consented to be the chief guest for this valedictory session. The Honorable Governor is widely admired for his unwavering commitment to education, culture, and public engagement, and for fostering meaningful dialogue across academic and social institutions. His august presence today lends exceptional dignity and inspiration to this gathering. Sir, we are truly honored to welcome you to this valedictory session. I extend a warm welcome to Dr. G. Vishwanathan, Founder Chancellor of VIT and Patron of the Indian Economic Association, whose visionary leadership has significantly shaped higher education in our country. I also welcome Dr. SHRI K. Ganesh, Founder Chancellor of VISTAS and Chief Patron of this conference, whose steadfast support has been instrumental in hosting this prestigious academic event. I'm pleased to extend a cordial welcome to the office bearers and executive committee members of the Indian Economic Association and to the eminent economists, academicians, researchers, and policy makers who've traveled from across the country to participate in this conference. Your presence and scholarly engagement have greatly enriched the deliberations and reaffirmed the enduring intellectual legacy of the Indian Economic Association. Since its inception, the IEA has played a pivotal role in advancing economic research, encouraging policy dialogue, and promoting intellectual exchange in India. The 108th Annual Conference marks yet another significant milestone in this illustrious journey. Over the past 3 days, we've had the privilege of listening to insightful deliberations and keynote addresses by distinguished scholars such as Professor Mahendra Dev, Professor Kaushik Basu, and Dr. C. Rangarajan, among many others. The discussions have spanned critical themes including economic growth and development, sustainability, inclusion, governance, and global economic transitions. This valedictory function offers us a valuable moment to reflect upon the rich intellectual outcomes of this conference and to carry forward its spirit into the future. It's also an occasion to reaffirm our collective commitment to evidence-based economics, ethical scholarship, and nation building. I take this opportunity to warmly acknowledge and welcome over 1,200 delegates representing more than 350 institutions from across the country. I also extend my sincere appreciation to the organizing committee, scholars, volunteers, and all those who work tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure the smooth conduct and resounding success of this event. The Honorable Governor's participation has truly been a source of strength and inspiration, contributing significantly to the grand success of this conference. Once again, I extend my respectful welcome to the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. I'm confident that the discussions and deliberations of this 3-day conference will provide valuable insights for the policymakers and scholars alike and will contribute meaningfully to strengthening India's position.
Partition of India, then also it has witnessed two great wars with Pakistan and China. Then again, you see so many turmoils came, but for 1984, when Mrs. Gandhi died, we did not change our schedule of holding this conference, that is the last week of December. Then we shifted to the first week of January. Otherwise, our last week of December is reserved for the Indian Economic Association. Everybody used to come to attend the EC conference. We are having about 12,000 members on our family, and out of which somewhere more than 3,000, as Mr. Anil Thakur told in the morning, sometimes 4,000, and this time also, we are even 1,500 plus members who have participated to the conference. Sir, I am really, you see, lucky to tell you, fortunate to tell you, that this is the Indian Economic Association, name the policymaker, name the economist in India and somewhere outside also, who are not associated with the Indian Economic Association. Maybe our former Prime Minister, Hon'ble Shri Manmohan Singh ji. Today we invited Monte Kaluvali also to deliver a lecture in memory of Shamukh Sundaram himself, L.K. Jha, I.G. Patel, B.R. Shenoy, everybody has been, who have been the governors of RBI also, Y.V. Reddy, who has been governor of RBI here also. This is the Indian Economic Association, sir, who has only two Nobel laureates who have been received from India outside. They all are members of Indian Economic Association. And I am lucky to see that particular event also at Jadavpur University Conference, where you see Amar Singh's name was floated. And there were certain technical issues that no, he cannot be elected as president of Indian Economic Association. Then the general house elected. I spoke to Professor P.R. Brahmananda, why do we want him to be elected as president of Indian Economic Association? He says, Baba, he's already president of International Economic Association. And supposedly we elect him as the Indian Economic Association. His case for Nobel Prize will be stronger. And our contribution, the contribution of Indian Economic Association also to his Nobel Prize. This is, sir, our Indian Economic Association. We have seen the planning period to no planning period. From planning commission to Niti Aayog, from globalization to the post-globalization, and also reversal of globalization also we are seeing in the hands of Trump and many others. So this year theme we had selected about the Indian economy and its connectivity, domestic as well as the international economy. There are a lot of pressures Indian economy is going through. It is traversing under a lot of pressures, internal pressures. There are so many economic and non-economic pressures are also there. But with a great leadership at the center and also a strong federal system of Indian government, the Indian economy is just withstanding all domestic pressures and also the external pressures as well. So many papers have been presented over here on these themes. We are just making a summary of those papers and will submit to you, sir, for your consideration afterwards. This time is a record time, and I think we should be thankful to Mr. Anil Thakur, who is the main convener of Indian Economic Association. Since 2003, he is the Secretary General. He is a record time Secretary General of Indian Economic Association. Since 2003 to 2025, nobody else. I was also for one term only. So, sir, 140 experts, main experts, ranging from the present chairperson of Prime Minister Economic Advisory Council to the earlier chairman of the Prime Minister Advisory Council, Kaushik Basu. Kaushik Basu coming from Cornell University. Then Professor N.R. Bhanumurthy is also associated with policy making of Government of India, especially he is also one of the coterie of economists of the Honorable Prime Minister. He too was there. And all the experts came patiently, discussed the things at length, and we were quite certainly our knowledge about economics got enriched while coming to this conference. So, friends, you will be agree that the presence of Honorable Governor, who is not married, they going to be the Chancellor of all the state university, who is the Professor of Professors, who is the Vice Chancellor of Vice Chancellors, the Chancellor, and himself is a great educationist, I think have certainly established a mark in the history of Indian Economic Association. We should give a big clapping in favor of Professor N.R.RAVI ji. And also I, with all humility, with all its humbleness, express my gratitude to all of you, my friends who have elected me as the General President of Indian Economics for the 3 years, consecutive 3 years. This is my first year, 2 years more to go. I don't should deserve nor I desire for the position, but this is all its goodness, your friendship, which has fetched me this honor. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Vande Mataram, Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. We are privileged to have with us Dr. G. Viswanathan, Chancellor of Vellore Institute of Technology and the patron of the Indian Economic Association. May I request him to deliver the special address? Sir, please.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Our chief guest of today for the valedictory session and our Honorable Governor through R.N.RAVI, the Vice President of Wales Group, Dr. Preetha Ganesh, the Association of Indian Economic Association, Dr. Bajpai, the founder and Chancellor of the University Wales, Dr. I.C. Ganesh, and the person who was arranging everything for the conference, Dr. Jyoti Murugan and Dr. Chandra Mohan, and the convener, Mr. Rana, other office bearers, Dr. Thakur, all other office bearers of the association and various parts of India, delegates, professors and economists, very good evening to you. This is an important occasion. We are concluding the 108th annual conference of Indian Economic Association, and today we are going to elect new office bearers also. I want this association to be the most important association in the country because we don't deal with other issues except economic development, and I want you at the various levels, I want you to be the honorary advisors of the government for economic development. The economy of the country should go up, society should go up, and individual families also should go up. What is happening in our country is that as an economy we are growing, but not to the extent which we expected. Because in 1990, we and China were together. In fact, we were better than them, $50 more, our per capita income. Now they have reached $13,000 and we are in $2,900. We have to find out how this could be done, how this could be increased. Now, and we must tell the government what are the areas where export can be increased, import can be cut down, trade deficit can be brought down. These are the things we should advise the government. And at the same time, tell them what are the things to be done to improve, the increase the per capita income, the family income. No doubt we are distributing something free to the people, but it will not go for the economic development. It will be useful for the expenses, that's all. Unless we do this, we may not be able to come up. And I find another thing, our public sector undertakings in the country, both state public sector and central public sector, many of them are incurring loss. And we are compensating them from the taxpayers' money. How this could be stopped, I want you to study and advise the governments. If you go up in education, then the income will go up. The society will grow, the government will grow, and the families also will grow. In fact, I have seen how after 4 years of study, I take about 100 students a year, poor students from Tamil Nadu. Now it is being implemented in Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. It's called SHRI, Support the Advancement of Rural Students. We take students studying in government schools, getting admission without entrance examination. I find after 4 years, they earn 10 times to 20 times that of the father after 4 years, which is possible. So I always say, Uyarkalvi, Vitayam Uyartham, Natayam Uyartham. It will help the family as well as the country. You know, there are about 3.5 crores Indians living outside India. earning and they are sending back the money. It's called remittance. India has the highest remittance in the world. This year, when we have our budget of 55 lakh crores, 12.2 lakh crores have come through remittance. And you must appreciate, I don't know what will happen, there are only 3 states which got 50%. Maharashtra, Kerala and Tamil Nadu put together, they have shared 50% of the remittance and the rest has been distributed all over the country because they concentrate on education, give them good education and send them abroad. These are the things I want you to tell the people, tell the government, because there are many of them who are not aware. And again, to improve higher education, now the education policy, new education policy says that the GER should go up to 50%. Unless the governments, both the union government and state government spend on education, it's not possible. In fact, when it was brought from state list to the concurrent list during emergency in 1976, I was one of those who voted in favor of this. I thought it would be good for education. If both the center and the state can spend on education, now what I find is both of them try to collect from education. There are various taxes on education and health, and I would very much request our governor to use his influence. See, either these taxes are withdrawn or given the minimum amount of tax, because otherwise it will increase the cost of education. The higher education in India mainly depends on parents, because we spend less than 3% of the GDP on education. I would very much like all the state governments and central government to take care of this so that all the middle class and the poor class will have access to higher education, which ultimately will make this country a great country. And we will go up in everything, industrial production, agricultural production, everything will go up. And remittance also, with this 29%, we get 22 to 12 lakh crores. What will happen if it goes to 50 or 60% of GR and go? We have possibilities of work all over the world. There are many countries where the population is declining and our youngsters are ready to go and work. Only thing is we should make them qualified. This is what I want a message to go to the various governments and our association people wherever they are. I want them to advise the people, advise the government and advise those who are in power so that this country can become an advanced country. I am very happy that our governor accepted an invitation to be here to deliver the valedictory address. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We next move on to this awards and book releases. This year, this conference has been truly historic, with over 1,300 plus delegates representing every state of our nation and more than 1,200 scholarly articles published under the banner of the Indian Economic Journal. That this year, the momentum efforts reflects the intellectual vibrancy and national spirit that defines our association. As a mark of this achievement, may I now invite Dr. Anil Kumar Thakur, Chief Convener of the Indian Economic Journal, to present a copy of the conference journal to His Excellency SHRI R.N.RAVI, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. A huge round of applause for this release and handing over the copy of the special issue of the Indian Economic Journal, where more than 1,200 scholarly articles has been published and distributed to all the members of the Indian Economic Association. Thank you, sir. Next, we are moving upon this Kautilya Award. The Indian Economic Association is deeply honored to present the prestigious 4th Kautilya Award to Dr. Aisari K. Ganesh, Founder Chancellor of VISTAS and the Chief Patron of this 108th Annual Conference. This award recognizes his visionary contribution to education, institution building, sports and social development. From classroom to playing field, from screens to society, the impact continues to empower generations. So thank you, sir. We now move upon to VISTAS Lifetime Achievement Award 2025. The VISTAS Lifetime Achievement Award 2025 is presented to Anil Kumar Thakur, Chief Convener of the Indian Economic Association, in recognition of his unwavering dedication to advancing education, fostering research, and strengthening academic institutions. A life member of the IEA who has served with distinction as the General Secretary and Treasurer. Sir, thank you, sir. May I now invite His Excellency Sri R.N.RAVI, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, to kindly present the book release on the title Organic Farming and Rural Transformation in India, Sustainability, Socio-Economic Insights and Gender, authored by Dr. Aparna Bharadwaj. I request His Excellency Sri R.N.RAVI ji, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, to kindly release the book titled Organic Farming and Rural Transformation in India, authored by Dr. Aparna Bharadwaj. I request Dr. Thank you, sir. It is now proud privilege to invite our chief guest of the valedictory session, His Excellency Sri R.N.RAVI, the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, a distinguished public servant with over 4 decades of service in national security, governance, and institution building. From leading anti-corruption initiatives into the CBI to serving the Intelligence Bureau, from guiding the peace processes in the Northeast to serving as a governor across multiple states, his contributions reflect dedication to the nation's unity and progress. Sir, assuming after office in Tamil Nadu, he has actively encouraged universities and research institutions, inspired youth to contribute to nation building, and highlighted the state's rich cultural heritage as a pillar of India's civilizational identity. We are deeply honored by his presence at this historic 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association. May I now respectfully request His Excellency Sri R.N.RAVI ji to deliver the valedictory address. Sir, வருக வருக என்று அன்புடன் உங்களை வரவேற்கிறோம்.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Aisari K. Ganesh, Founder Chancellor VISTAS, Dr. G. Viswanathan, Founder Chancellor VIT, Dr. A.D.N. Bajpai, President Indian Economic Association, Dr. Preeta Ganesh, Vice President Wales Group of Institutions, Dr. Angraj Singh Rana, Convener Indian Economic Association, Dr. A. Jyoti Murugan, Pro-Chancellor, Wales Institute of Technology and Advanced Studies, distinguished scholars, eminent economists, researchers, students, and distinguished delegates, அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். A very good evening to all of you. The president of the association, Dr. R.N. Bajpai, mentioned that in the 108 years of the journey of this association, I have the distinction of being the second governor being invited for this to deliver the valedictory address. Well, a person who has studied physics, a student of physics, and spent his lifetime in dealing with the issues of national security. To what extent I am competent to talk on economics, I'm not very sure. But yet, I would like to share certain perspective as an observer. In the last 3 days, many eminent scholars have shared their insights, their scholarship, and I am confident that the delegates would be going back enriched, intellectually enriched, with newer perspective in the pursuit of their profession in the further course of the journey. Friends, Dr. Viswanathan mentioned that in 1990, we were at par or perhaps slightly better than China in terms of GDP. And today, we are way behind. What went wrong? If we extend this time segment a little further, at the time of independence, 1947, India was the 6th largest economy of the world. And by 2014, we became the 11th largest. From 6th, we declined to 11th. Of course, if we go back further, some 200 years ago, or maybe 150 years ago, at the beginning of the 19th century, we were the largest economy of the world. At the time of colonization, India was the largest economy of the world, and it was the largest for several centuries. These are all borne by evidences. But from the largest to the 6th, and after independence, during the period of colonization, we could say that yes, the colonial powers, they exploited us, they destroyed our economy, and they made us poorer. But what happened after independence, that from the 6th we slipped down to 11th. And then, again, if you look at today, India is the fastest growing large economy in the world. It's a fact. It is not that it is the first year that it is the fastest growing. It has been the fastest growing economy for the last consecutive 5 years, 2021 onwards. We also know that in the last 1 decade, some 25 crores people have been pulled out of absolute poverty. Incredible. Never, ever happened in any part of the world. There are so many things that have happened and are happening. We find that and as a result, the 2014 from the 11th economy, we have come to the 4th largest, and the world acknowledges that within no time, we are going to be the 3rd largest economy of the world. So as far as the economic growth of this country is concerned, I don't think we need too much worry about it. It is on the very good trajectory. Some sectors may have some problems, that is okay, understandable. But overall economy, if you look in terms of the GDP, India has been doing very well. But is it how we measure the Indian economy or should measure the Indian economy? And here, I would like to urge upon the economists and more so on the young scholars, because I pin much of my hopes on the younger generations, because our economists largely have been trained with the economic philosophy essentially oscillating either between the market economy or the socialism, both of European origin. John Maynard Keynes, the godfather of market, and Karl Marx and his successors who talked about socialist version of economy. Means of production, whether it should be owned by the state or it should be owned by the individuals. Now, for long after independence, we kept experimenting. First from the socialist model, then we started moving towards compulsion of situations that we started opening up a bit here and there. But we continued for long, until recently, viewing private enterprise with suspicion. Anyone who made money was a corrupt person, that was the presumption. And I admire all those people, those, despite all the odds, they still continued doing what they did, creating jobs, creating wealth for the country. But essentially we were confused because we did not look at ourselves from our own eyes. We were guided largely by the economic philosophies of the West. And what happened in 2014 after Prime Minister R.N.RAVI Modi came, and the changes that happened that we see today, the problem that I foresee as an observer is we are still measuring it from those very parameters by which the economists across the world, especially the Western world, they measure it. Either in terms of GDP, in terms of employment given by the organized sectors. And what is happening here in our country, if we see that if the economy has from 11th to 4th, has it happened primarily because of the government enterprises? I don't think so. Many of you would agree that. What has happened is the basic change, the fundamental change in the philosophy, economic philosophy. I will give one illustration. How a common person, an illiterate person, is contributing significantly to the economy. Take the case of Mudra loan. Now, today we have, the latest data shows that we have 52 crores people of our country who are beneficiary of Mudra loan. Some 33 lakhs crores of rupees have been disbursed by way of Mudra loan to these beneficiaries. In our own state, Tamil Nadu, as of the first quarter of 2025, over 3.25 lakhs crores have been disbursed by way of Mudra loan. I have been visiting districts, subdivisions, and rural areas and interacting with the people, the beneficiary of Mudra loan. They are mostly, and more than half of them are women. A village woman, not much educated, doesn't have much degree, but takes a loan, buys a few cows, sells milk. Some women buy sewing machine and they start stitching garments, and a group of them put together, they start supplying garments to meet the local market demand. Someone has established a small tea coffee shops. These micro revolutions that has been happening, and each of them each of them, they tell you how better off they are today. How are we measuring? How are we catching the economic consequences of all these micro revolutions? Presumption that only a degree holder, a qualified people can have access to finance, access to institutional capital, and can contribute, it has been pushed aside. And the belief that every individual has an enterprise, literate or illiterate, every individual has an enterprise, give the opportunity and enterprise will flourish. And this is what is happening today. Our own state, I find Tamil Nadu is one of the leading states in terms of mudra loan. The transformation is phenomenal. But we are not able to catch the magnitude of it because our parameters are still the same, the classical economics. If you look at, when we say that our poverty has come down and 25 crores people have been pulled out of poverty, absolute poverty, it is creating a new middle class. It is increasing and it is offering a lot of opportunities. The fact that this transformation is happening in such a massive scale, and there are so many things which are happening. In fact, one speaker mentioned about that economists should be concentrating on the economics. I would urge that today, the fundamental change that has happened today is that economics is no longer a matter of only economics, it is overall society. It touches every aspect of our life. All that transformation that has happened, like access of drinking water to every house, electricity to every house, health coverage, saturation almost. This multiple initiative, toilets, impact of toilets in every house, the impact on the health, how it is a public health issue. All these amenities which are essentials for a healthy citizenship available today, now it must have, and it must have had, and it must be having its impact on the overall, in the way of life of that particular family or each family who is a beneficiary of it. They are not just having electricity and sleeping over it. They are not having access to health care and be just happy about it, nothing. Their economic productivity has increased manifold. How are they manifesting those productivity? Are we measuring it? Do we have parameters to measure those, how it is going, how it is impacting it? Because when we see all this positivity in the air, transformation happening, it is happening by countless micro enterprises, not only by these major ones. How do we capture this reality? I think I would urge that our economists should work on, because I have not seen many literature in that, at least in the public domain. If it is happening in their own cohort group and all, I am not aware of it. But certainly in the public domain, there are not much literature that catches the reality of today's economic transformations that is happening in our country at a scale and a speed which has never happened before. Friends, all these are, what is happening today is driven by a vision. It also needs to be this vision, which is reflected in the policies. We tend to study policy by policy, project by project, program by program. And here I have my own apprehension that it is like a blind man and elephant. If you try to interpret it only by project, it will be understanding of an elephant by the blind man. A holistic, how do you look at it? The vision, essentially, which is transforming the life and economy of our people, because this is an inclusive transformation. There are countries which have got far greater GDP than us. But you see the level of poverty, level of deprivation, homelessness, Western country, take United States of America. The access to health care, almost half the population don't have access to health care, whereas we have almost saturation. This inclusive development, inclusive growth, where even the last man is not left, from the greater good to the greater number, to Sarvodaya and Antyodaya, that everyone is included, even the last man. We know that we have a program launched by the Prime Minister some years ago, that PVTC group, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, in our whole country, their population is just about 40 lakhs. In a country of 140 crore, 40 lakhs means nothing. In our own state, they are 10 lakhs. Dispersed all over the states, they are not, they are nowhere in the reckoning. They just don't count in the electoral arithmetic. And I was shocked when I found that a large number of them, they do not have any document to prove that they are Indian citizens, because there is nothing. They don't have any ration card, they don't have identity card, no Aadhaar, nothing. They are not in the reckoning. Today, with a special initiative, they are all being brought. This is Antyodaya, the last man. Don't exclude even the last man. So this all-inclusive growth and development, which touches the life of every citizen of this country, driven by a vision, which is our own indigenous vision, Indian vision. And that is, a man, a human being is not a mere economic agent. Whether it is a capitalist model or a socialist model, they look on human being only as an economic agent. If the person is an old and aged one, a person is a liability. That is how all economic dispensation you calculate. Now look at the burden. Now we have such an old age, how do you do that? They are a burden to society. You start worrying about it, rather than looking at them as an asset. That is the way we have looked at it, because when you look at a person only as an economic agent, a large part of humanity, be the kids or be the elderly people, they are not in the reckoning. They become liability. We are looking at human being as an integral human being. A person is not merely an economic agent, but he can also is a social being, is a spiritual being. A grandfather present in the family or grandparents present in the family is an asset to the family. Makes it possible for the parents to go and work, take care of the children, groom them. But what are we doing for preserving this multi-generational institution of multi-generational family? I think we need to think about it. If our philosophy is that human being is not a merely an economic agent, and we do not measure our growth merely in terms of GDP, as of course in the terms of GDP we are growing the fastest, as the latest data shows almost 8% plus, 8.2. But it is, as the Prime Minister often says, human-centric development. Development all-inclusive, development which is sustainable. A country like ours has taken a bold decision that we will have, by 2030, 50% of our electricity will be, our power needs will be from clean energy, non-fossil. It was a very bold decision. People wondered, economists wondered, how can you achieve this? But we are doing that. We have started tapping the solar, we started tapping all the alternatives, and the latest front is hydrogen. A lot of investment is going on, a lot of researches are going on to make alternative energy possible. And today, more than 46% of almost our energy is coming from the clean source. This is possible. Development, not the Apple model of development, that you make an iPhone and every year you create an iPhone, make this iPhone as if just unusable, you have to throw it, you have to buy a new one. No, that is not a sustainable model. The Apple model of development is not a sustainable model. It is doing, one company may make profit, but the globe suffered, the people suffers. India is not pursuing that kind of model. Air is sustainable. Where we are putting enough emphasis that whether it is a technology or whether it is enterprise, it should be sustainable. We just released a book on organic farming. Last month in Coimbatore, a large gathering of organic farmers, Prime Minister came and inaugurated. Over 10,000 farmers were there. Not that only 10,000 farmers are there in Tamil Nadu organic, there are far many more. But 10,000 farmers plus had come. And it was such a delightful sight to see qualified engineers, IIT graduates coming for organic farming and doing wonders. Not only diversification, crop diversification, but so many new innovative measures in agriculture. And organic farming so that it doesn't adversely impact the environment, it ensures the health of the soil, and it doesn't diminish the earnings of the family. Because there has been a myth that if you go for it, you lose the money. It doesn't happen. They are proving it. There are countless number of them are doing it. These new enterprises, new ideas, new ways. There is a lot of positive energy in our country today. A lot of positive energy. You know, friends, there is always an X factor. It is the same people. Maybe some point of time you were 100 crores, we became 120 crores, 130 crores, today 140 crores. But there was a lack of enterprise. Everyone was just making a beeline for a government job. You get a government job somewhere. Hold a degree, useless, you can't do anything. A person holding a degree in geography will lose the way in the next street. But just through rote learning, unusable knowledge without any skill. And no emphasis, no urge for any enterprise. Today, India is among the top 3 countries in the world in terms of a startup, enterprise, innovations. If you look at the intellectual property 2014, 15, 16, we were 0.67, 0.5, 0.7, something like that. Not way below even 1% of the total intellectual property created in the world. Not that we have made a much greater achievement, but certainly we have taken a bigger stride. And today, we are reaching about almost 4%. From 0.67%, we are reaching about 4% of the our patent that our people are creating. In terms of a startup, we are the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world. A lot of young men and women are doing wonders. There are numerous stories to tell, which we see in our day-to-day life. And this is happening in Tier 2, Tier 3, towns and rural areas. So this new confidence which India is waking up to her potential, with enterprise in every individual and opportunities being made available to them. A new India is waking up, is emerging with a new economic philosophy. Economic philosophy which is neither of the 2 blocks. It is India's own indigenous economic philosophy where an individual is not looked upon merely as an economic agent but as an integral being. Where an old person is not looked upon as a liability but as an asset. And where every individual has the capacity to produce and they are producing it. Now this new reality of India, it has to be captured. Some days back, I read some data that among the earliest, our measure of poverty used to be something different, that people have the basics just to keep the body and soul together. It is no longer the case. The study shows that today the lowest, the poorest of the poor among them, poorest in our society, their consumption quality, the basket has improved, enlarged. They are not just confined to food grains. They are eating fruits, vegetables, meat, eggs. Consumption has increased. They are owning bikes, motorbikes, a large number of them. Now, all the changes that are happening, it needs to be captured. Because there are people, there are enemies of the nation who keep talking about as if nothing is happening in this country. I think it is the responsibility of the economists to be honest, to be sincere and hardworking and find out the reality. And having captured the reality, create a conceptual framework, a theoretical framework, which is there, which is indigenous philosophy. It exists, but it needs economics vocabulary. You create that vocabulary, articulate that, to catching the reality, the today's domestic realities, and creating a conceptual framework so that away from those two variations, there is a third alternative, there is an alternative and third way of developing a society, a country, in a way which is inclusive, which is sustainable. This is what India is doing today. And I think this is the order of the day, this is the call of the day, and I'm sure economists, those who are going back after attending this 3 days conference, they would ponder over it and they would start looking into the data. They start finding ways to create primary data and then make assessment so that would be far more relevant, or else we will be continue, this dishing out recommendations which will be half-baked and may not necessarily be. Because I remember that in the COVID period, all the economists were advising the Prime Minister, print money, create so much of them, just so that people start easy money and start buying. You must fuel the demand. Prime Minister said, no, we'll not print money at all. Instead, we will make the fundamental changes. We'll make people capable of it. We'll improve the situation so that we have a long-term gain. And that is how all these transformations happened. We didn't. Unlike many countries, we didn't print money. But the result is that the post-COVID, we are the fastest growing large economy of the world. So these fundamental changes which are happening, it needs also a altogether new look to study it, new tools to understand it, and new conceptual frame to explain it. And I'm sure you all will be doing it, I have no doubt about it. Friends, those who have come from outside, I'm sure you must have enjoyed the hospitality of Tamil Nadu. Tamil people are exceedingly hospitable, very nice. I'm sure you must have enjoyed the food here. Delicious. Some of you might have found it a little spicy. That's okay. But nevertheless, it's very, very delicious. I'm not very sure whether you could see some places, whether you got some time or you were all 3 days, you were bound to the conference. But if you have some time, visit around. Even Chennai has a lot of ancient places you can visit and go back safely to your respective homes, carrying a sweet memory of this place. Thank you very much. Jai Bharat. Bharat Mata ki jai.
Sir, thank you very much for your inspiring words and sharing India's remarkable journey from our early struggles to today's position as the fastest growing economy. Thank you for your insights, like the struggle of the common man, which has converted from various schemes like Mudra, how shapes of the people living in India has been changed. Sir, your message is very clear. economics is not just about numbers, but it is about the way of life. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of all the members, I request all the members to give a standing ovation to His Excellency Shri Raviji for his acceptance and being with us during the 108th annual conference for giving us valedictory session. Thank you, sir. In the presence of the Honorable Governor, I would like to share the message from the Indian Economic Association in recognition of his enduring legacy and commitment to holistic development. The Indian Economic Association is pleased to announce the launch of a new academic tradition in the name of Dr. Shri K. Ganesh Endowment Lecture, which will be instituted from the upcoming annual conference onwards. This lecture will serve as a platform to inspire about thought leadership, celebrate innovation, and honor the values that Dr. Ganesh embodies. Thank you very much, sir. May I now request Dr. B.P. Chandramohan, sir, to deliver the votes of thanks.
Good evening to everyone present here. It is my distinct honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of the valedictory function of the 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association. The chief guest of today's valedictory function, Shri Dr. R.N.RAVI, Hon'ble Governor of Tamil Nadu, the Honorable Patron of the Indian Economic Association, Dr. G. Viswanathan, Chancellor of VIT, the esteemed Chancellor of VISTAS, Dr. SHRI K. Ganesh, and he is also the Chief Patron of the 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association, Dr. Preetha Ganesh, the Vice President of Wales Group of Institution, who proposed a vote of thanks, the Honorable President of the Indian Economic Association, Sri Professor A.D.N. Vajpayee ji, the distinguished Executive Committee members of the Indian Economic Association, speakers, delegates, faculty members, and dear participants. First and foremost, on behalf of the organizing committee of VISTAS and on behalf of the IEA, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Shri R.N.RAVI, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu. Your presence here today and your insightful valedictory address on the Indian economy has been a source of great inspiration and guidance for all of us. You started with the history of Indian economy from the pre-colonial period and the transition from the pre-colonial to the independence period, then up to date with various programs announced by the government of India and its results. And among the most important, you dealt that economics, that we should not assess people on the basis of the value, and youngsters should be the asset in some countries, and the aged people will be the liabilities. And that is the lesson that India can teach to the rest of the world. In rest of the world, old people can be the liability, but in India, we treat them as the asset because we are getting the valuable advices and guidance from the old population. And on behalf of the Indian Economic Association and the host institution, I thank our Honorable Governor of injecting that message to the members of the Indian Economic Association. We are proudly profoundly indebted to the chief patron and the chancellor of VISTAS, Dr. R.N.RAVI Ganesh, who supported all possible manner for the successful conduct of this conference. I am also thankful to Pro-Chancellor Dr. R.V. Ganesh and Vice President Dr. Preetha Ganesh in obtaining all possible administrative and organizing support for the successful conduct of the event in the VISTAS campus. I would like to bring the knowledge of our chief guest and also to the IEA that this is happening after 49 years in Chennai, and the VISTAS University is courage enough to take this opportunity, and we tried our level best to satisfy your aspirations, and as we are the guest, you are the guest and we are the host, I hope that you may be enjoying all the 3 days in our conference. I also thankful for the guidance, encouragement, and support in providing excellent infrastructure and conducive environment for the extensive 3-day conference by the host institution. Words are not enough to thank the conference president, who is also my teacher. I have 3 relationship with the pro-chancellor of this university. He was my teacher. He was my colleague. Now he is more or less my employer. So I crossed all these 3 stages. Now he is a conference president of the 108th annual conference. I take his guidance and support, and he was engaged in the activities of the 108th conference day and day out. He was telling some days that, Chandramohan, I didn't sleep yesterday. I was thinking about the 108th conference. He came early morning and he was calling me. This is a kind of person we have as the Pro-Chancellor and the conference president. My special thanks are also for the Vice Chancellor Dr. T. Sasiprabha, Pro-Vice Chancellor Dr. M. Bhaskaran, and Registrar Dr. M. Chandrasekharan for the help we received towards the conference. No event of this magnitude can be successful without the collective effort of a dedicated team. I extend my sincere thanks to the organizing committee members. There are many members. I may find it difficult to name because there are many. I should not miss even any. So I thank all those who are there in the team. I extend my sincere thanks to the organizing committee members, faculty members of the Department of Economics, Management Studies and Commerce, and all the administrative and supporting staff of VISTAS for their seamless planning and execution. I am very much thankful to the different committee heads and organizing committee members who always stand by us and work for the success of the event day in, day out. I feel proud that all of you making this event a successful one. Our sincere thanks go to the entire fraternity of the Indian Economic Association, especially the Chief Convener, Dr. Anil Kumar Thakur. Anil Kumar Thakur is not a new name. He is known from the Kashmir to the Kanyakumari, and this is a household name nowadays, especially for the economist. Not even a single economist of this India may miss the name of Dr. Anil Kumar Thakur. Dr. Anil Kumar Thakur is everybody, carrying everybody with him for the sake of the subject economics and the association called Indian Economic Association. I also thank him. Then again, our President, Dr. R.N. Vajpayee, he is not only he is a Vice Chancellor for more than 25 years of different states, starting from Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, and moreover, he is a yogi. He is a yogi. He knows the philosophy, knowledge, music, economics, and one of his students is a very close friend of mine who was a principal in Madhya Pradesh. I used to get all this information from him. How is my teacher? He was telling me, you can learn economics from a person, but our R.N. Vajpayee sir is a man of different facets. So he is here as the President of Indian Economic Association. And also I thank Dr. R.N.RAVI and all the Vice Presidents, Joint Secretaries, and EC members for your unwavering support and dedicated efforts in fostering economic language and research that are the backbone of the association's success. We are grateful for the opportunity to host this prestigious event. We would like to express our deep appreciation to all the eminent speakers, keynote speakers, panelists, chairpersons, paper presenters, and session chairs who enrich the conference with their valuable insights, research, and expertise on various aspects of the Indian economy. Now I would like to bring the attention of our Honorable Governor that we received delegates more than 300 institutions, including various universities and colleges, and more than 1,200 registered participants, maybe Tamil Nadu leading on the top because it is the host state, followed by states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Karnataka, and all. We received delegates from Himachal Pradesh. Yeah, we did not miss even a single state. We received delegates from countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, and they were there. I think they will be available in this among you also. So I thank them for their support and their faith in the Indian Economic Association as an association that delivers knowledge to the teachers, students, research scholars, etc. Finally, I would like to thank all the delegates, participants, and students from across the country and the globe who blessed us with their presence. Your overwhelming participation and enthusiastic engagement in the discussions and technical sessions were the key to the vibrancy and success of this conference. A special note of thanks to all the sponsors and collaborating institutions for their support, which made the conference a reality. Thank you all for your cordial cooperation. We look forward to future collaboration and meeting you all. And as per the suggestion and advice of my President of Indian Economic Association, there is a person who works for the last 1 month or more with many of his team members for preparing the journal. Because preparing this 12 or 13 volumes of different themes is not a joke. We used to get their comments from the paper presenters. My name is not there, my title of the article is wrong, and he was doing all the job of making the corrections and staying in the press for many nights and days. And I thank on behalf of the Indian Economic Association and the host institution, Dr. Narayanan, I wish all of you to give an applause for his participation. Finally, I thank you all. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. As we requesting to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तब जय दादा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
We thank His Excellency, the Honorable Governor, for gracing this valedictory session of the 108th Annual Conference of the Indian Economic Association, organized by Wales University, Chennai. I request all the delegates, members of the association, kindly be seated as we are going to start the general body meeting of the Indian Economic Association. Requesting all the members to be kindly seated as we are going to start the general body meeting of the Indian Economic Association.